Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Give us your name, your DOC number, please.
Christopher Barr, 534757.
All right, Mr. Boyd, my name is Pearl Wise. To my left is Mr. Marabella, and to my right is Mr. Roche. We comprise your panel today. Let me explain the process to you. We're going to read some information into the record, and afterwards, we're going to conduct the interview with you. You also have some visitors, and I'll call them out, some speakers and some oppositions, and I'm going to call their names out. We're going to give them an opportunity to speak. We're going to also ask the staff there to give us some input as to how you've been doing, of late. And once all the testimony has been made, we'll give you an opportunity to make a statement. Tell us whatever you want us to know, and then we'll vote. Do you understand the process?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me read the information into the record. Your name is Christopher Barr. DOC number is 534757. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You're listed as a third offender. Current offense is habitualized possession of tramadol, possession of oxycodone, possession with the intent to distribute heroin, and possession of heroin 28 to 200 grams. You were sentenced on January the 27th of 2016. You were sentenced to 20 years in DOC. Let me get up back up here to make sure. Your parole eligibility date is listed as 1/29 of 2020. You have a good time date of January the 25th of 2034. And you have a full term date of January the 29th of 2035. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the records, you appeared before a parole panel on May 20th of 21. And at that time, you were denied with a recommendation that you obtain long-term substance abuse treatment. You were granted a rehearing on August the 23rd of 2020. I'm sorry, 2022, you granted a rehearing. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. August.
You have a hard time seeing us? So you having a hard time hearing us or seeing us?
No, I was confused for a second, but yeah, that's correct. In August.
I need you to sit back because when you lean in, we can't see your face. Yeah,
all right.
I was wondering, you having a hard time seeing us or a hard time hearing us? I don't know. Okay. So tell me, what have you been doing since you completed Steve Hall?
Well, I haven't been doing anything. I've been up here. Well, after I completed Steve Hall, I got transferred up here, and I've been up here for about 5 months. Just waiting on the parole date.
Okay, so tell me the top 3 things you learned in Steve Hall that you didn't already know.
Well, number 1 was as far as the victim awareness. See, I always, by me selling drugs, I never looked at the people that was around me or the people that I was dealing with as victims, but they are victims. And, I had to admit that I actually use drugs to manipulate these people, so, there's plenty of victims. And I think about all the collateral damage that I didn't take into consideration. As far as, maybe it was a mother or father, who left a kid at home hungry that night to come see me, and I don't feel good about that. And, maybe it could have been a time where I could have got something bad and didn't know what was in it, and I could have killed somebody, so, the victim part of it is the part that really hits me hard, because I wouldn't want anybody to treat my loved ones that way. I use drugs to manipulate these people, and that was wrong.
Okay.
So the victim awareness part is the thing that sticks out to me the most. Secondly, I say, I used to think that I could somehow sell drugs and go to work and and be successful at, saving money and, trying to come up with a business and just turn all the way legit. But I realize there's no such thing. it's either, it's black or white, it's no gray area. It was just me, actually lying to myself, a fairy tale, thinking that I could, be below the radar. But I mean, it's foolishness, and it's irrational, and irresponsible. And thirdly, what I didn't know, I want to go back. I want to go back to the, the collateral damage I was speaking about. As far as when I speak to my mother on the phone, and I never knew that she was carrying, guilt, blaming herself for the decision I made. Well, she's, of course it's not her fault. She did the best she could. I had every opportunity, and I just made some horrible decisions, and I regret them. And I'm ashamed of myself. I misrepresented my family, and I just want to apologize.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, as a Louisiana taxpayer, that's very rewarding to hear the insight that you got. It was worth every penny that it cost for you to go through that program. I appreciate that. The records I have show that you have 13 years of education. So tell us about your education. When did you graduate high school? What year?
I completed GED in 2002.
Okay.
And I completed technical college. I got some welding certificates in 2012.
And that was in DOC?
Yes.
Oh, that you were at the Angola reentry program?
Yes, ma'am, in 2010.
Okay, then you completed that in 2013, I believe.
Yes, ma'am.
So what happened? Why didn't you start using your trade?
Well, actually, I was using the trade. I did apply to trade. I was working with the Ironworkers Union, where I was able to use my welding certificates. I actually went out on a few jobs, but I started using drugs, and this is ridiculous. I started using drugs, and that's when I started getting these ideas that, well, maybe I don't have to work so hard. Maybe I can just use it, take a few of my dollars and get a little of this, and I can go to work, you know what I'm saying? And just try to, lie below the radar. Okay. But what happened was, the darkness took over. Like I should have known it was gonna do, there's no such thing. So I wound up going, more and more to, dealing drugs until I wasn't even working anymore. I was full blown back, doing without, and crash landed. Here I am, 9 years later.
Saying that because from what I know, and of course, I've read and what's been said, that drug dealing hours are the most tedious hours to work. There's a lot of hours involved in that.
Very hard work. And I was dedicated, and I wish I would have put it into my craft.
Instead of in welding, you just okay.
That was ridiculous. That was horrible. That was the worst decision of my life. And I was actually doing okay, but I didn't get the job that I failed the work on the pipeline. And this like, as far as in the welding world, this was like one of the menial jobs, the construction work. Nobody wanted to do it. So it was hard work. So like I said, I tried to, supplement my income, so I wouldn't have to work so hard. And like I said, it wound up taking over.
Okay, I got you. And you, the record show that you are married, is that correct?
So, yep. Good Christian woman, blew that. Yeah.
So y'all not divorced, or y'all together?
Yeah, we're divorced. Yeah. She divorced me in 2017.
Oh, I'm sorry. How many children do y'all have?
None. She has 2 of her own from a previous relationship.
Okay. So tell me, sir, why should I vote to let you out today?
Well, ma'am, I'm exhausted. I really realized the error of my ways, and like I said, the shame I carry, I misrepresented my family. I come from a good family. I mean, I'm the only one going through this type of thing, So, it's just hard for me, to it's just hard for me, just to know, that I let them down, most of all myself. But at the age of 40, I know what's on the line. I know I don't have any more wiggle room, to be doing, things illegal, especially, with this sentence that I'm carrying. I'm done, and I don't want any more part of this type of lifestyle.
Okay.
I'm willing
Let me
to
stop.
recommit.
Let me stop you there. Let me stop you there. What is your sobriety plan if you're released? How you plan to stay clean and sober?
Well, I do have some listed some like some NAA classes, but with some addresses and all that. I never tried to get a sponsor before, so I was really gonna this time around, if granted, I really did want to get a sponsor, just in case, I understand the importance of
You said you got the AANA meeting list. What does that mean? What you gonna do with the list?
like I said, the inquiry how to get a sponsor. And I understand that people, places, and things play a major part. So, I know certain places I don't have no business being, and it's a few people that I know I don't need to be around. So it's starting there. And if really, if granted parole, my number one objective is to do what I need to do to actually get off of parole, which is, holding the job and, staying away from the areas I don't need to be in, recommitting to my family, just try to get established, just try to find some type of success and positivity for the second half of my life. Because,
let me stop you there. When you were released from state hall, did they give you a release plan of what you need to do? Do you recall getting that, a release summary of what you need to do to stay clean and sober? Do you
yeah,
recall?
I have.
Okay. Name some of the things that are in there. Do you remember what was in that release plan, what they expect you to do to stay clean and sober?
Yeah, that was one of the things, getting a sponsor.
And what else was in there?
Huh?
What else was in the list? What else was in that sheet?
Well, a list of companies that's hiring felons.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I got every company that's willing to hire felons. I have some address to sobriety houses. I have addresses to, just in case I need a place to stay.
Okay.
Yeah, I have.
Did they say anything about how many AA or NA meetings you should attend? Was there any mention in that of that?
No, just the paperwork with the information.
Okay, great. All right. Any other questions? No. All right, staff, Christopher, I didn't ask you about write-ups. How many write-ups you had?
Zero. I think I have one back in 2016.
Yes.
A disobedience. A disobedience. But yeah, I don't. But since then, I haven't had any write-ups.
And then call out for the record how long you've been in jail on this 20-year sentence.
This is my 9th year.
9 years. Okay. All right. All right. Staff, there. What can you tell us about Mr. Barr?
Yes, ma'am. Just as he stated, he's only been here with us for a short while, maybe 5, maybe 6 months, but he's not a problematic inmate. He stays mostly to himself, and he's very quiet. Mostly the only thing I mostly see him doing is reading. He reads a lot, and that's it.
Okay, thank you. And now we'll go to your supporters. We have your long-term friend, Mr. Jaron. I'm gonna chop up your name. Would you unmute and tell us what you would like for us to know?
Yes, Jaron Durant. Can you all hear me?
Yes. Yes, we can.
All right. Thank you so much. So I'll try to keep it short and sweet here. But just listening to to my friend, seeing him on the other side here, definitely is heartbreaking. I miss him. I miss him a lot. I miss him a lot. Good friend of mine for 30 years now. 30 years. 30 years. And, you know, being 41, you know, 1 year older than him, you know, losing close friends on this second half of our years. And we don't realize how much we waste our 20s. We don't realize it. We don't realize it, man. We waste our 20s a lot. Doing Lord knows whatever, you know. Thank God that he's still here. Thank God that he does have an opportunity to make right on his wrong. And the one thing that I think I'll take from this meeting is him understanding and having to take accountability for his actions, and which is the most important thing, because if you don't take accountability for your actions, you can't move forward. And that's one thing. And I think being a man, you have to own up to our mistakes and let's be willing to make right on that wrong and really stick to it for sure. And I truly believe that he is definitely ready to do so in that second half of his life. And definitely, you know, I know his family. He has a lot of supporters. He has people in his corners. We care for him. We love him dearly. And we definitely want to see him home. We want to see him home.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here today.
Yes, ma'am.
Your aunt, Miss Kapoor. We can't hear you. You're on mute.
Okay, you can hear me now?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Give us your relationship and what you want us to know.
Sure. February 9th, 2023. Good morning to the Honorable Parole Board members. Speaking on the support of Christopher Barr. My name is Lillian Duport and I'm 61 years old. I'm the auntie of Christopher Barr. I've been employed at Nexstar Corporation for 13 years as a traffic assistant. Before that, I was a traffic manager at iHeart Radio for 16 years. After speaking to Christopher on several occasions, he has expressed the knowledge of his mistakes and how he's remorseful for his past mistakes. I do believe Christopher is a changed man who would be a productive and law-abiding citizen upon his release. He also completed all of the programs and educational requirements that has been on good behavior as well. Christopher have a very supportive and loving family. He's also expressed to me fears of losing his grandparents while he's been incarcerated. Well, his fears has came true because my father, the grandfather, passed away in August of 21, as well as a close cousin of his whom he has grown up with. I can assure you that Christopher has a very strong, stable network of people waiting to help him when he comes home. His family is willing to help him financially, providing him with housing, even transportation, because the Barr family is extremely close and that's how we do it. Although Christopher has been incarcerated for several years, we still remain close and supportive of one another. In closing, I would like to really reiterate that I strongly believe Christopher, who I love so dearly to my heart, is a changed man who is ready for the opportunity of freedom again. His commitment to personal transformation has been evident to my family, and we hope we can see this positive change he has made through the records of achievements and behavior throughout his incarceration. I want to thank you, the Parole Board, for giving me this opportunity to speak on Christopher's behalf.
Thank you, ma'am. And I'm sorry for your loss of your father.
Thank you.
Miss Vanessa?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can. Give us your
Good
name and
morning.
your relationship. Good morning, and tell us what you want us to know.
Hi, good morning. I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak on Christopher's behalf. My name is Vanessa Crimmins and I'm Christopher's mother. I want to start off by saying I haven't been able to see, hug, or kiss my son in over 5 years. This breaks my heart not being able to see him and has brought me into a depressive state on top of my other medical problems. I do not condone what Christopher has done. I never condone wrongdoings, and he knows that. But while he being incarcerated, I know that Christopher had a lot of time to think about his choices and past mistakes that he has made, but that shouldn't dictate his future. I can hear it in his voice over our phone calls that he has admitted he is very remorseful for what he has done. And his past actions should not dictate his future. I truly believe in my heart that Christopher is ready, and I think he should have a chance to be released back into society. Sometimes good people make bad choices, mistakes, and do stupid things. He also has my family and myself, our full support. With our help and support, we are determined to get Christopher on the right track. Sorry for my speaking, I'm nervous.
Okay, that's okay. You're doing good. You're doing good.
I love and miss Christopher dearly, and I hope the parole board will give him a chance to come home and be with his family. He has suffered a couple of losses while he's been away, and I'm absolutely sure that he learned his lesson. He was being very lazy, not wanting to work, but now that he has been incarcerated and he has that time of thinking about what he has done in the past, but like I said, that it shouldn't dictate his future. So we hope you grant him parole today. And we love and miss him dearly, and we want him to come home. And I want to thank you again for letting me speak on Christopher's behalf.
Thank you, ma'am, for being here. Mr. Myers?
Good morning, Randy Meyer, Assistant DA, Jefferson Parish. I had some concerns with Mr. Barr. My biggest concern was with his reentry program. And when he gets out, what's he going to do to stay out? He went through the reentry program years ago, completed that, got out, and went back to the drugs. Now he's done the Steve Hall program. He's completed that, and that's definitely something he needed. But what's he going to do to stay off drugs when he gets out? And he answered that question by saying he was going to get a sponsor. Well, there's more to it than getting a sponsor. He needs to go to the meetings. Those meetings are very important. That sponsor is important as well. And he's there to assist you when you have a problem. When you think you're going to get back into using the drugs, you call that sponsor and he'll help you. He'll do what he needs to do to help you to stay off of it. I'm not totally convinced that he's at that he understands that part of it. I hope he does. So those are my concerns with him being released today. Thank you.
Sure. All right, Mr. Christopher, what do you want us to know before we vote?
I want to thank the parole board for the opportunity to be here today. And I also want to apologize, for everybody having to be here today on my account. I want to apologize to all the victims, everybody that I've hurt, all of my loved ones. I'm very remorseful. I'm very ashamed. I want to do right for myself. I want to do right for my family. I want to start putting positivity in the world. I want to be a leader. I want to I just want my life back so badly. And with respect to what the DA said, he's perfectly right. I need to go to the NAAA meetings. And I need a sponsor. I need my family support. All that's true. But I'm willing to do my part. And I'm willing to give it my all. I understand at this stage of my life that I don't have any more chances. I know this is my last chance. And I'm so ready. So ready to.
All right, thank you. Thank you. The panel ready to vote?
Yes.
Excuse me, can I say one more thing?
Yes.
Mr. Barr, I've got a friend who's an alcoholic. He has been going to AA meetings for over 30 years. He goes every week. He hasn't stopped. And he's a sponsor. He helps people who have the problem, who get in and do that. So that's something that's very important that you need to do, and you need to understand that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Mr. Barr, it's a difficult case for me. It's difficult because you have the two. You went through the reentry program, you got a trade, you got the drug program in there, you had the trade, you went out and didn't use them. You had the tools, I meant to say, you went out and didn't use them. Now you're back in. We're giving you more tools. We're giving you Steve Hall, you got the tools. We don't know if you're going to use it. Only person knows that is you. And that's what I'm battling with. You got the tools, you got the know-how, you got the family support, you have all the right ingredients, but what will you do with it? And you can't, no words. That's what I'm wrestling with. But for me, I'm inclined to take a chance on you because of the family support, because of the friendships. You have a community. If you take advantage of it, that's on you. And my vote is to grant because of the good family support, the good institutional record, the good programs. 495 days of programs, complete to Steve Hall. I wish I could send you the TWP, but they didn't send you there because you don't qualify for it. Transitional work, you don't qualify for it. But as a special condition, I don't do this often, but I want you to do 30 meetings in 30 days when you get out. They can be on Zoom or they can be in person, because as it's been stated, your sobriety has to be #1 priority. And as you say, to get a sponsor, follow the release plan set by Steve Hall. For PNP to do random drug screens over your period of supervision. That means they can call you and say, be in my office by 1 o'clock. They're gonna drug screen. You'll be in and out if you're clean, Also, I want you to start doing community service. You said you want to repair some harm that you did to the community. About 3 months after you get out, start doing community service of 8 hours a month. You're young, you got skills, you can mow somebody's grass, you can talk to young people, there are a lot of things you be as creative as you can and use all your talents. And because you had a poor supervision history, I want you to report weekly to probation parole for the first 4 weeks. I want you to get acclimated to NAAA and get acclimated to your parole officer. That's my vote. I'm only 1 vote, sir. Best wishes to you, Mr. Roche.
Thank you, Ms. Wise. Good morning, Christopher.
Good morning, sir.
Nice seeing you again.
Nice seeing you too, sir.
Okay. It looked like you spent the time between last hearing and this hearing actually doing things to rehabilitate yourself. And I am thankful for that. Based upon the same reasons given by Ms. Wise, I'm going to grant your early release this time. Because you remember last time.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna add one condition, Mrs. Wise conditions. That after you do your 90 meetings in 90 days, you're going to attend NAAA 3 times a week. And as Mr. Myers said, it's a lifelong routine. Must continue to take those NAAA meetings even after you're off supervision. Your sobriety, everything to you. So please maintain it, okay?
Thank you, Mr. Roche. Mr. Marabella.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Mr. Barr, I agree with everything that my colleagues have said. I agree with everything that Mr. Myers said. You know, it seems that Steve Hall is a great program. It appears to me that you've gotten a lot out of it. Certainly like what you had to say about the victims and what you have done as a drug dealer, not only to the person you're selling the drugs to, but their entire families. I think in your head you have it. I worry that you might not have it in your heart yet about the fact you are a drug addict and it's a lifelong problem. But I think that the conditions that have been outlined are going to give you the best opportunity. If you don't follow it, if you don't do it, you're going to end up back in jail and likely never get out. So my vote would be the same with the same conditions as outlined by both Mr. Roche as well as Ms. Wise. So good luck to you.
So you got folks to grant, parole has been granted today. That completes our business at Madison. We thank y'all so much for accommodating us this morning. You accommodated us very well. Thank you so much.
So welcome. We thank you guys, so you guys be safe.